Everyone, welcome back, Therapy Cat. Hi, Therapy Cat. Bye-bye, Therapy Cat. You ever play a game and realize, hours in, you haven't thought about yourself once during that time? And it turns out you have to pee really, really badly? You've been busy tending crops or stamping passports or climbing mountains, carrying a sword the size of a Toyota Prius. And somewhere in there, you stop noticing how you, the player, felt. Only what needed to be done. Like a vignetting of your emotional reality. This is a video about self-abandonment. The quiet, slippery moment when you disconnect from your emotional self. Often to survive or to perform or just so you don't disappoint anyone. Buckle up, friendos. We're going for a ride. Sorry, everyone. I'm starting by plunging the knife really deep here. My apologies. Stardew Valley begins as a fantasy. You escape a soul-numbing job and inherit a piece of land from your grandfather. It's quiet and peaceful. The only thing that matters now is what you choose to grow and nurture and rebuild. The game says, take your time. Go at your own pace. Healing is allowed here. And you start playing. And within a few in-game weeks, you're waking up at 6 a.m., you're maximizing your harvest routes, you're running spreadsheets on fish spawn schedules, and ranking townsfolk by friendship utility. You're doing it all for joy, and to connect, and because you care, and because Penny's really into you. Yeah, girl, yeah. But slowly, joy gets optimized out. You stop talking to villagers unless it boosts affection points. You skip the festivals to squeeze in one more mine run. You start seeing the game less like a place to be and more like a machine to be managed. And the wild part? It feels good. At least initially. You feel productive. You feel achieving. You're doing it right. Penny's really into you now. Yeah! But in that chase, you abandon the very thing you came here for. You've turned this into another job, just like the one that you left. Even in paradise, we bring the habits that hurt us. Stardew Valley doesn't really punish you for overdoing it. That's part of what makes it so insidious. You can optimize everything if you want to. There's no angry NPC, no cutscene, game over to stop you. Instead, it's a weird quiet ache, a missed birthday, a ghost town of interactions that feel more transactional than relational. A moment where you realize you haven't gone fishing in weeks, not because you didn't have time, because it just didn't feel worth it. You start playing like you're working through vacation. I know more and more of us are starting to understand what that feeling is like. If that sounds familiar, if you've ever turned a hobby into a hustle or a relationship into an obligation, you know what Stardew Valley is really modeling for us. You came here to rest, to feel again. But the system in your head, the one that measures worth in tasks checked off, followed you here. Stardew Valley doesn't judge you for that. It holds up a mirror and asks quietly, what would happen if you let yourself exist without optimization? Can you be valuable even when you're unproductive? And for a lot of us, that question hits harder than any boss fight ever could. I'm just popping in to help remind you to subscribe. Subscribing makes sure that I get plenty of little kitty cat treats. Yum, yum, kitty cat treats. Yum, yum. Subscribe! While Stardew Valley sweet talks you into overfunctioning, Papers, Please just slaps you with moral fatigue. You're a border agent in a dystopia. You need money. You need to feed your family. And the rules are getting stricter. And you, desperately trying to keep your family fed, start stamping denials like a machine. You separate couples, reject asylum seekers, and slowly, numbness becomes the only way forward. You can't afford to feel, so you don't. It's not a metaphor. this time. It's your actual job. Feeling less is how you win. This makes me think of a certain political party.
Bazinga.
And let's be real, a lot of us were trained to work that way. Say yes, stay quiet, keep moving. Congratulations, you're now an emotionally repressed cog with a nicer 401k. Woohoo. Cloud Strife is the king of looking fine on the outside while completely imploding on the inside. Same. He doesn't just push through pain, he built a whole personality out of avoidance. It turns out he's not even the person he thinks he is. He's adopted someone else's story just to have something to hold on to. Which, to be honest, if you've ever been the strong one in your group, or the one who never cries at work, or the one who just gets things done, you probably know a little bit about this. When you don't know who you are, it's easy to serve someone else's mission. Finally, I want to talk about Celeste. What a great game. A mountain, a goal, a girl who wants to get away from the part of herself that feels too much. Madeline fights her anxiety like it's the final boss, until she realizes she can't win that way. The part she hates, it's part of her. And until she accepts that, she keeps falling. She climbs higher once she stops leaving parts of herself behind. And if you've ever looked in the mirror and wished you were less anxious, less emotional, less needy, you already know this story. Healing doesn't come from chopping off the parts of us that feel too much, even though that's tempting. It comes from realizing that these parts are not the enemy. They're the map, and they're here to help us. And the sooner we can accept them and understand them, embrace them, the sooner we can move forward. Self-abandonment doesn't always look like a meltdown. Sometimes it looks like being helpful, productive, stoic, fine. But in each of these games, there's a quiet invitation. What if you didn't have to leave yourself behind to move forward? What if you could climb or work or love, succeed without ghosting your inner world to do so? Thanks for watching. As usual, at the end, I like to give you a reason to subscribe. Find a reason. If this resonated with you at all, if you saw a little too much of yourself in Stardew Valley's gift log or Cloud's blank stare, hey, same. Welcome to the club. Drop a comment below. What's a game that made you feel like you left a part of yourself behind just to get through it? Hey, and if you want to keep exploring the beautiful and strange places where video games and emotional lives collide, hey, hit subscribe. I assure you I have something for you coming up. Whether or not you can name the emotion and feeling that you're experiencing or fighting or repressing, whether or not you can find the ways that you're emotionally abandoning yourself, you are. And these videos are here to help give language and help begin the processing journey when it comes to that. So hit subscribe. I'd love to have you. Thanks for watching. Think about how electricity works and how that kind of seems like magic. And I think that'll make your week much more beautiful. Thanks.